Let me try to be very specific and talk about the possible solutions to the challenges facing the Central Africa's great nation, the Democratic Republic of Congo. What I'll try to present to you today is called the USHA's plans to develop DRC, and I've established these ones in forms of steps that involve the transfer of the capital from Kinshasa to the center of the Congo. This will be done for a very specific reason. President Julius Kambarage Nyerere, Mwalimu of Tanzania, did talk about the transfer of the capital from Dar es Salaam to Dodoma. The reason was to place the capital at the center of the country so that it's accessible. This is the very conflict, this is the very problem we have in the Congo. The capital being far, thousands of miles away from some parts of the eastern Congo, which is the core of the problems, the core of the conflict, of the armed unrest, should be perhaps be this is something we have to think about. Once the capital is at the center, then of course there is accessibility, that people can easily access the government. The military can easily get equipment and reinforcement from the capital easily, and other countries from all the corners can easily meet at the capital to discuss some of the important issues. Now, the next one is the conflict on borders, not be looked at as a Rwandan thing, because the reason why there is a Rwandan-Congo conflict on the eastern Congo border with Rwanda is for one good reason, that there is an interest, and some of the foreign governments that include the US government uses Rwanda's troops and other military heads to bring this kind of instability in this part of the country. So I would think, like, if we don't look at the conflict as a Rwandan-Congo conflict, because we sometimes base these reasons on the Kinyarwanda-speaking dialect, but that's not the reason. If we look at the border with Angola, it's the same thing. If we look at the border with Congo Brazzaville, it's the same thing. So the issue of language shouldn't be the problem. The problem should be withdrawing all the attention from the conflict on the Congo-Rwanda border to a more advanced and sophisticated method of resolving this. The next way to resolve some of our conflicts is scrapping off the democracy, because democracy hasn't shown any help at all. Actually, democracy, to surprise you guys, it leads to anarchy, and sometimes in the end it's tyranny. So I'm not a very strong believer in democracy. I oppose democracy. So we got to scrap that. Even the name of the Congo too has to stand alone. We can find a different name that would help. The next one is switching from French to English, or using both languages, because it's from my experience that any French-speaking country, more especially in West Africa, all the French colonies and the Belgian colonies where French has been used, there is no development at all. It has been the use of dictators and fighting and famine, and it's a chain of challenges, more especially when it comes to the military, social, political conflicts in these parts of Africa. Some of these countries are Burkina Faso and Niger and Mali that speak French. Is there any developments? You'd be with me to agree or disagree. Another thing is the refusal and eviction of the MONUSCO forces in Eastern Congo. That has been, I don't know when they did this though, but they did sign some of the agreements and the troops were deployed. But after the deployment, it's been like 20 years that it's more than 20 years now that these troops are on the ground and they're doing nothing. Wars continue. It's recently when actually one of the generals from the MONUSCO, Santos Cruz from Brazil, was deployed. That's when they actually accepted to counter with the rebels. But it has been not helpful to the Congolese people at any cost. So I disagree. We have to do the refusal and the eviction of these MONUSCO forces out of our country. The next one is strengthening our military to protect the people, to help lay the way for developments that include improvement on infrastructure and establishing the infrastructure that the country still lacks. Also, the military will help us protect our mineral wealth that includes various resources from the ground, the gold, the diamonds, the coltan, and the rest of the minerals, including crude oil. Now,